Okay guys, let us come to discuss some example which is based on measurement of length. We have a different method. You must be remember this all this theory. Okay, first we discuss about the illustration number 2.2. What is the meaning of illustration? Illustration means solved example. Illustration means solved example. Page number 19. See illustration number 2.2, page number 19. What is the problem statement? Let's read it. A man wishes to estimate the distance of nearby tower from him. So actually consider somewhere here the tower is present. So man wants to estimate the distance between the tower and wherever he was standing. Okay, so man is wants to this distance, measuring this distance. So what he do here? He stands at a point A in front of the tower C. So main position is considered A and the tower is C. Okay, and spot is very distant object O on the line AC, and he observe one object O, and it's at very large distance. Point O is at very large distance. Now he then walks underline this one, underline perpendicular to AC. Now he starting a walking perpendicular to AC, and it is reach up to the B. And now the man is reaching at some new position. This position is a B at a distance of 100 meter. Let's try to draw some basic figure. See, consider it is tower. You just understand. Consider it is tower. The tower is C. Now man is standing somewhere here. So this point is A. Okay, so initial position is this one. If you see from the top, now we are drawing the top view of this situation. Okay, first suppose we draw the front view. So consider somewhere here tower. See, suppose it is tower somewhere here. Okay, this is the tower. So tower name is C. What is tower name? Tower is a C. Now man is standing in front of this one somewhere here A. Now this man, suppose consider this point is a C, tower C. So this man wants to measure this distance AC. If you have C from top, then actual position is this one. Now this is the tower. Actually it is quite difficult to draw this line in a board. Board is a two-dimensional one. Okay, so see this figure is actually like this. That is a tower. This is the distance. Now man is standing somewhere here. I am drawing this situation here. So if you see from the top, and here the man, then see what you see here. Now this is tower. Tower is just like a point, and this is the man. So what is the top view of this figure? So top view is something like top view of this figure. So somewhere here the tower, see this tower, and exactly in front of this tower the man is standing as position A. So this is what position A, position of man initially. So man is standing somewhere here. This is the top view, that is the front view. That is what actually front view or side view. Okay, let's consider that is the side view. So this C is what actually tower. Now this man observe any distance object. Consider it is a distant object. Oh, this man is observe this object. Now what is the statement? From the position A, this man starts walking perpendicular to AC. Now this is the AC. Now its man starts walking perpendicular to AC, and it is reach up to the point B after covering 100 meter distance. So man starts walking like this in perpendicular direction, and reach somewhere here. This is a new position. Then how much distance? 100 meter. So actual condition is this one. That is a tower. Man is somewhere here. Tower C, position A, exactly in front of tower. Now he was walking perpendicular like this. See, he walking like this. See, okay, A to B. So A to B, but exactly this one. So if you observe this figure, see A, B. And point, this is the tower, this is the position of A, this is the position A, this is the position B. So how much this distance covered? This distance is equal to 100 meter. Okay, so that is actually straight line. So that is what actually straight line. This is the position B. So A and B both are the positions. So this is the position of man initially, and B is the position of man finally. So actual figure is like this. Now again he observed this object O. Now we are using the parallax method here, or the simple geometry. Let's see what is the problem. Next statement. Also looks the O and C again. So he was observing the object O from the A and C from the A. Similarly from B he was observed the O and C both. Okay, so for this one the direction of BO is practically as the same as the AO. This AO and BO, this approximately same. Why? This distance is very far away. So, but he finds the underline this one. He finds the line of sight of C shifted from the original line by the theta is equal to 40-degree angle. This is called parallax. So initially when this man from A observed this tower, this is the line of sight. This is the line of sight. When he reached somewhere here at B, when he reached at the point B, then the line of sight is this one. So initial line of sight to final line of sight is shifted by the angle 40-degree, by the angle 40-degree. If you apply the same theory here, so this is the line of sight initially, and this is the line of sight finally. How much it is shifted? 40-degree. If you consider this one, then this both are parallel. Why? It is given in a problem. In this both case, this line of sight is same, exactly same. This line of sight is changed by what degree? What angle? 40-degree. By what angle? 40-degree. Then we have to find, we have to estimate the distance between the tower and the position A. We have to find the distance AC. So here the question is what? AC is equal to what? Here the question is what? AC is equal to what? You have to find this. Okay, so what we are doing in this case? The case is actually very simple. See, this is the one right angle triangle. Why? Because it's move perpendicularly. It is given here. It's move perpendicularly. Okay, actually move like this. Tower C, position A, position B. So actually I am drawing this triangle. See, right angle triangle. If you see from the top, then this triangle is like this. C, A, B, C. Okay, so C, A, B, C, exactly like this. So in this case, how we find this one? This distance is given 100 meter. What is this? 100 meter. So in this triangle, use this rule directly, you get the answer. So in triangle ABC, in triangle ABC, in triangle ABC, what are you doing? Opponent side is given, adjacent side you want. So opponent upon adjacent, tan theta. So tan theta is equal to opponent AB upon adjacent AC. Yes or no? Opponent upon adjacent, simple tan theta. This is the trigonometry rule. So tan 40 is equal to, what is AB? 100. So AB is equal to, what is AC? AC is equal to, find out. AC is equal to, find out. So from this one, what are you doing? 1040 AC is equal to what? So AC is equal to 100 upon 1040. 100 upon 1040. Now 1040 is unknown value. 1040 is what? Unknown value for you. But you see the tangent table. If you see the tangent table in your textbook or wherever you want, you get this answer. See, 1040 is equal to what? 1040 is equal to 0.8391. Write down. All of you guys must be write this. What is 1040? Where tan 40 is equal to 0.8391. So put this value here. So AC is equal to 100 upon 0.8391. So finally you get this answer 119 meter. So now you think how we get this answer. So this tangent, actually we are using the tangent table. We are using the tangent table to get this value. Okay, somewhere you find the tangent table. So from the tangent you find the tan 40 at so you get this 0.8391. Okay, you put here, finally you get this answer. All of you guys must be note this example in your books with the proper figure. So this figure is helpful to you to understand this problem. Okay, all of you guys must be note it. Okay guys, let's come to this next illustration number 2.3. Illustration number 2.3, page number 19. Page number 19. See, the moon is observed from the two diametrically opposite point A and B on the earth. Underline, moon is observed. So here the planet is considered as a moon. So that is the moon. What is this? Suppose consider moon, and somewhere earth is somewhere here. So what is this? This is the earth. Okay, so moon is observed from the diametrically opposite point. So this diametrically opposite point means this one. So this point is considered as A and this point is considered as a B. Diametrically opposite point AB, and the angle theta subtended at the moon. Again underline this. Theta is subtended at the moon. So this angle is what? This angle is what? Theta. Okay, at the moon. Exactly, sir. So what is this for us? For us this is the basis. So consider it is B, and that is the distance between moon and earth. Consider it is D. This one is considered as a D and this is considered as a B as per our parallax method theory. So this theta is parallax angle. What is the theta is given here in the problem? 1 degree 54 minutes. So write down the given data. Theta is equal to 1 degree 54 minute. 1 degree 54 minute. Given the diameter of the earth is to about 1.276 into 10 raised to 7 meter. So this diameter is the here consider AB. AB here we write it is basis. What is this? So B is equal to 1.276 into 10 raised to 7 meter. Compute the distance between the moon and earth. Compute the distance between this, means we have to finding out D. So D is equal to find out. Okay, now the problem is what? If you see any example, if you want to solve any example, you must be write down the given data first. So first you read the statement. From the statement you try to write the data. So we write the data, we read the statement. Now what is the next step? So next step you have to just find the relation between this given data. So we have any relation between theta, B and D. So the answer is yes. So write the hint. Let's write the hint here. Write the hint. So what is the angle? Parallax angle actually. Parallax angle. Theta is equal to arc upon radius. It means B upon D. B upon D. You have to find the D. So find the D from this one. So D is equal to B upon theta. So here B is given and this is in a proper unit. See, what is this unit? Meter. But theta is given in degree and minute. And when we write this relation, this theta must be in radian. When we write this relation, I am telling to all of you, this theta must be in radian. Now tell me, it is in radian? So answer is no. First you convert this angle in a radian. Then how you convert it? So you have a two method. You convert this angle in first in minute, then radian, degree and then radian. Okay, let's try to solve this example. In this relation, theta must be required in radian. Right now it is not in radian. So what is this theta? So theta is equal to 1 degree means how many minutes? 1 degree means how many minutes? 60 plus 54 minutes. 1 degree plus 54 minutes. 1 degree means 60 minutes. It means 60 minutes plus 54 minutes. 60 plus 50, 110, and plus 4, 114. It is equal to 114 minutes. So you convert this one in a degree first. So it is equal to what? 114 into 1 minute, as we understand in angle conversion. So it is equal to what? 114 into what is 1 minute in degree? 1 upon 60 degree. 1 upon 60 degree. So finally you get this 114 into 1 upon 60. What is a degree in radian? 1 degree is equal to how many radian? 1 degree is equal to pi upon 180 radian. Pi upon 180 radian. So finally you get this answer. Okay, just try to solve 114 upon 60 upon 180 pi. So you get this answer. Means when you calculate this angle, then you get 3.32 into 10 raised to minus 2 radian. 3.32 into 10 raised to minus 2 radian. You try to solve. Okay, so again 1 degree plus 54 minutes. 1 degree means 60 minutes. 60 plus 54, 114 minutes. So 114 minutes like this. 114 into 1 minute. 114 as it is, 1 minute was 1 upon 60 degree. So 114 as it is, 1 upon 60. 1 degree is what? In radian, pi upon 180. So after calculating this one, you get this theta here. See, theta is equal to 3.32 into 10 raised to minus 2 radian, and actually we want this answer in a radian. We want this answer in a radian. So finally first you convert this value here. Now B is known, theta is known. Put this value in this equation and finally calculate this answer. So remaining calculation is in homework. Put the value of B and theta in above equation and find D. Remaining calculation is in homework. Try to solve example. Solve this example by yourself. Okay, theta is known, B is known. Put this both value here. Finally you get this answer in terms of minute. Why? Sorry, meter. Why meter? Because meter is given to us. Okay, all of you guys must be note this example in your books properly with the calculation. Again with the calculation. Okay, note it. Okay guys, let's come to this next example. Illustration number 2.4. Illustration number 2.4. Again on the same page. The sun's angular diameter is measured by the 1920 second. Underline this one, angular diameter. What is the meaning of angular diameter? First you understand this one as we discuss in theory. Suppose you can say this is sun. What is this? Sun. This is the diameter of a sun. Consider D. A dash, B dash. Now it is what? Earth. And you observe the sun from the point B. So P is observation point. So when you observe the sun from the point B at point A dash and B dash, so this is our observation angle. So this angle alpha is called angular diameter. Underline this one and write down. This alpha is what? Angular diameter. Alpha is equal to angular diameter. Do you understand this one? And what is this right now given? So this is the given data actually for us. Write down given data. See, first you must be write the given data here. Okay, so 1920 second. So alpha is equal to 1920 second. 1920 second. The distance D of the sun from the earth is this one. What is this? Distance D, this one, capital D. And what is this D? Given here in the problem, 1.496. 496 multiplied by 10 raised to 11 meter. It is given in a problem, so don't worry about it. Find the diameter of the sun. What do you have to want? You have to finding the diameter of the sun. So D is equal to what? This is our case. So let's write the hint for this problem. Very simple. Actually, problem is quite simple for us. Okay, write down the hint. Solution for this problem. So if you have to solve this problem, you remember one equation in which this alpha d and d is present. So very simple parallax method equation. So angle is equal to arc by radius. So angular diameter alpha is equal to arc upon radius, d upon d. What do you have to want? D. Find the d from this one. So d is equal to alpha into d. But if you have to use this relation, alpha must be in radian. Alpha must be in radian. Consider this is equation number 1. It is equation number 1. Now d is given, don't worry about it. Alpha is also given, don't worry about it. But it is not given in a radian. It is given in a second. Then what we are doing here to calculate this answer? Very simple. You convert this. You convert second to radian as we discussed in our angular conservation theory. So let's see. So can we write this value like this one? 1920 into 1 second. 1920 into 1 second. You just write 1 second in a degree. So 1920 into 1 second in a degree. So 1 upon 3600 degree. You just write degree in a radian. So 1920 upon 3600 degree in a radian. So pi upon 180 radian. 1 degree is equal to pi upon 180 radian as we discussed in a theory session. Okay. So finally you get this answer is equal to, you get this answer is equal to 9.31. 9.31 into 10 raised to minus 3 radian. If you put this, if you calculate this one, you get this answer. Okay, you just put this both this value here and calculate D in homework. Calculate, put this all this value here and calculation is in homework. Try to solve this example, remaining example by yourself. Okay, but this is just a hint. I'm just giving a one hint to all of you. Now all of you guys must be note this example in your books with a proper calculation, not like this. Okay, you just calculate it. Now note it. Hello guys, so now comes to this next example, example number 4 from exercise. Example number 4 from exercise. Okay, so what is this problem? Explain the statement clearly. First we have to explain this one. Okay, number of statements are given to us. We discuss one by one. To call a dimensional quantity large or small, it's meaningless without specifying a standard comparison. That's a quite important term. Suppose you consider the mass of Earth is very large. You suppose you just consider this statement. Mass of Earth is very large, but without the reference, it's quite meaningless. It's a meaningless statement. ओके, अर्थ का मास बहुत ज़्यादा है या फिर बहुत कम है, उसको कंपैरिजन के बिना हम कुछ कह नहीं सकते. और इफ़ यू कंसिडर विद द रेफरेंस ऑफ सन, देन द मास ऑफ अर्थ इज स्मॉलर, but with the reference of any mass of any object, then the mass of earth is very larger one. Okay, so we have to compare the units. We have to compare the units of any measurement. Okay, so statement is what? To call a dimensional quantity large or small is meaningless without specifying a standard comparison. कंपैरिजन के बिना हम ऐसा कुछ कह नहीं सकते. मेरे से इसका मीनिंगलेस है. अगर आप बोलते हैं तो भी मीनिंगलेस है. ठीक है. Okay, what is this? In the view of this, reframe the following statements wherever necessary. The number of statements are given to us. We just reframe it, means we write something correct statements, or we just change it with some reference, means we are just giving a reference if necessary. If the statement is okay, then we are not change it. Okay, let's see, read the first one. First statements. What is the first statement? Atoms are very small objects. Atom are very small objects. That's meaningless. Why? No comparison is given here. Atom are very small. Atom are very small. This statement is like this. But you compare with the nucleus. Then the size of atom is what? Just I am giving one example. What is size of atom? Size of atom is equal to 10 raised to minus 10 meter. What is the size of nucleus? Size of nucleus 10 raised to minus approximately. This is all this thing is approximately 10 raised to minus 15 meter. If you take the ratio, size of atom upon size of nucleus is equal to 10 raised to minus 10 upon 10 raised to minus 15 is equal to 10 raised to 5. It means size of atom is 10 raised to 5 times than the size of nucleus. Then here the size of atom is not small. If you compare with the nucleus, then size of atom is very large. Size of atom is very large. So here this is depends on which you in which reference you consider here, which reference you consider. Okay, so with this actually we have to reframe this one. So all of you guys must be write this, all of you guys must be write like this. We have to write this very small. So size of atom is very small. The size of atom is very small. Then the tip of pin. Size of atom is very small. Then the tip of pin. Tip of pin or cap of pen. This is also quite larger compared to atom. This is the, you can write like this also, a cap of pen. You just compare it. Size of atom is very small. Then the tip of pin or cap of pen. This one. See this one, cap of pen. This is quite larger one. So this is the one correct. So you just write like this. Okay. Now second statement. A jet plane moves with a great speed. If you consider the light, then speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and jet plane speed is much smaller one. This one. So actually this is not correct one. So write down the correct statement. Jet plane moves with a larger speed. Jet plane moves with a great speed. Actually here great speed is used, so we are using the same word, great speed, then the aeroplane. If you consider the aeroplane and jet plane, then there is a quite a larger difference in speed. So write down, a jet plane moves with a great speed than the aeroplane. Okay. Third one, the mass of Jupiter is very large. If you consider the mass of Sun and mass of Jupiter, which one having larger mass? So obviously Sun having a larger mass compared with the Jupiter. So this is also meaningless because comparison not given. So write down, a mass of Jupiter is very large. A mass of Jupiter is very large as compared to Earth. If you consider the Earth, the mass of Jupiter is large. Or as compared to Moon. The mass of Jupiter is very large as compared to Moon or Earth. Okay, whatever you can write down. There is no simply we are choose any objects for the comparison. Okay, so with reference to Sun, mass of Jupiter is smaller one, but with respect to Moon, this mass of Jupiter is larger one. Okay, now it comes to this next one, D. The air inside the room contains the large number of molecules. The air inside the room contains a large number of molecules. Reference is given? No. If you consider the air inside the room, suppose here this room is present, here the room is present. Okay, this is the one room, some air is present. But if you consider the one hole, a very large hole, then in the room the number of molecules is higher, or in a hole this number of molecules higher, then obviously in a hole number of molecules is higher. So this is again a meaningless term. So we must be compare here. Write down, the air inside the room, contain the large number of molecule, as compared to balloon. as compared to balloon. Why? Balloon is smaller one, smaller balloon, not larger balloon. This balloon is smaller one, okay, and this room is larger one. So the number of air molecules in a room is larger as compared to smaller balloon. Okay. Let's come to the next one, E. A proton is much more massive than the electron. This is the comparison. See, which one? E. The mass of proton is much greater than the electron. This is the given statement. Here the comparison already given. In the above all the statements, this type of comparison is not given. Here the statement is that mass of proton is much more than the mass of electron. That is, it is a true. Why? Mass of proton is equal to if you consider this one, then mass of proton is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg, and mass of electron 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. If you take the ratio, then the answer is approximately 10 raised to 4. Then mass of proton is 10 raised to 4 times the mass of electron. So 10,000 times is larger. So this statement is correct. So consider this statement is correct. Means reframing is not required. For this statement, reframing does not require. Now let's come to this next one. The speed of sound is much smaller than the speed of light. Again, write down this one, F. The speed of sound is much less than speed of light. So again, correct one. Why? Speed of sound is equal to 332 meter per second, and speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. See, which one is larger? It is a 3 into 10 raised to 8, and this is only 332 meter per second. So this is again correct statement. Means reframing is not required. So this type of problem statements are given to us. All of you guys must be write all the statements properly with the, if reframing is required, then you reframe the statements, or if it is not required, you just write directly, okay? And some of this data here just note down. So all of you guys must be note this data also, okay? Then after we are just comes to this next example. Note it in your books.